Bottom Line Sports Talk. I'm George Abraham. You know my partner Albert Cameron. Albert, on our local segment, we ought to just write up a little theme thing that says so-and-so went over 1,000 tonight and just fill in the blank because it's every week.
Yeah, right now we are getting a resume of boys and girls that are putting up points. We talked about how you start in 9th grade now because you practice when you're young and you're little. You get to play 4 years and you put up 1,000 points. And Sophia Constantino at McDonald did it. She's the second girl at Maplewood to do it, along with Ashley Deans. When you get two on this, Ashley Deans was at Matthews. I'm sorry. You get two girls this week that did it, and when you get two girls at 1,000, and then you get Molly Howard, who also played at McDonald and scored 1,000. 3 girls, George, in 2 weeks. We've talked about this. Is amazing. Congratulations to Sophia. Congratulations to Ashley. George, our theme has been, it doesn't happen like this. No, it takes a lot of hard work. Be able to score a variety of ways. Be able to shoot the basketball. Be able to get to the basket off the dribble. Be able to make your free throws. All these things go into play. And you know, these young girls started at a young age with the basketball in their hands, never thinking that they'd be honored for 1,000-point scores. Congratulations to both.
I read where she used to see the 1,000-point board and tell her dad, I'm going to be up there someday.
How about that? Set a goal.
See, now that's nice.
Yeah, I like when people set goals. I think you write the goals down. I think you put them on your dresser, put them on your mirror so you can see them every day, and realize that it doesn't happen by snapping your fingers. You have to really work hard to get them, and that's why that works.
McDonald, we've been over there years ago. We did a show over there, and I was very impressed. It just appeared that work ethic permeated the place, and they want to be good. And what's it take to be good? We got to run in the morning. We'll run in the morning.
Right.
Got to run after school. We'll run after school. Got to shoot 1,000 shots. We'll shoot 1,000 shots.
Yeah, 1 square mile of great athletics. That's McDonald, and proof that families put their mouth. They really work hard at it.
Yeah.
There's some legacy there, George.
Absolutely.
You know that's truth in running and in all sports. That's why they're always so good. Talking about good, Mickey Sikora at Campbell has stepped down as a football coach. 32-27 record in his 6 years. Personal reasons, not know what the future holds. But he said, George, we see this more and more. That there are not a lot of lifers. There's not a lot of lifers.
Now, Bill Bourne, God bless you.
Yes, he's a lifer of all lifers.
Oh my goodness!
Nobody's a lifer more.
I can't wait till we get back in the studio. We're gonna have him in and just have a visit, because when I heard he was going back, I just said, God bless him.
How old, George, is he?
He's only 87.
87-year-old becoming the head coach again. Now you're talking about.
He graduated the year I was born, and I'm an old fart. Now how's that?
And he has the engine of a 25-year-old.
Absolutely.
He has the passion of a 15-year-old.
Absolutely.
Yes, he does, and that's why age is so overrated.
Mm-hmm.
He could be there till 11 o'clock at night and not blink an eye.
Next morning, he'd be in the cafeteria at 11.
Yes.
No question about it.
And,
no, that's
and somebody else will be wearing down. He never wears down.
I can't do this anymore.
And that's what happened to Mickey. You know, Mickey Sikora just said, I had enough. He said, I'd like to coach in the future maybe, but right now it's not for me. And so good luck to Mickey in the future.
Those 2 and 5 years, they'll take some hair off your head in a hurry.
Yeah, it does.
We know.
Oh, no, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're winning every game, or winning many games. Those next mornings come a little slower. Mm-hmm. When you lose a boy, you think, oh, I didn't get any sleep at all. And
I remember one night we got beat at the buzzer. Like, I can remember this like it was yesterday. So we get back to the school. You know, first of all, it's Tuesday night. It's probably 11:15. You know, the roads were bad. I look, my car's on E. Okay. So now I got to go over to the gas station, and I'm out there, and it's just blowing that cold, wet, half rain, half light, and I'm out there, and I'm filling that thing, and I'm like, I can't do this. Then Friday night you win one and you're ready to go again.
Recuperate again, right?
But I'll tell you what, there are nights, those drives in the winter when the roads are bad, you come out of practice, it's like you're in Buffalo.
Right.
Man, that'll get you old in a hurry.
So yeah, that plus losing, that's when it becomes hard.
Let's look at some YSU kids. A lot of local walk-ons.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think we want to share that with our fans that there are kids who want to go to YSU that are really good players, and they're and someday we're gonna play on that YSU field. And that's Chris Samarone from Canfield, Jonathan Schmidt from Canfield, Michael Pastella from Parna Mooney, and Nate Williams from Poland, and Clay Medved from Springfield Local. We wanted to mention those kids who are stars at their schools, really great players, and that's the part people don't understand. You understand to walk out at YSU, you have to be a really good player. They're just like anybody come walking on there out of nowhere's land, and so when you look at high school kids around this area, there are kids that have dreams of playing at YSU. There are some kids that have dreams of playing at Mount Union. Whatever it is, I applaud the walk-ons at YSU that say, I have a lot of confidence in myself.
Hey, Pitt had a walk-on last year that ended up All-American, and he's going to be drafted into the pros.
That's awesome.
A lineman.
One of my greatest things I see, George, I get a thrill out of this. I cry or I get goosebumps every time I see it. Is when you have a walk-on in his second year, and they go to the auditorium. And,
they surprise.
Yes, and the coach says,
they go.
I think we should do something.
We got a call from your mom or something.
Yes.
She said, you got a scholarship. And the place goes nuts.
That's what I like.
Absolutely.
The players know. His teammates know how great this was.
Hey, think about mom and dad not having to write that 5-figure check.
Yes.
That can't hurt.
That's everything. They save that mom and dad all that money.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that when they get that scholarship offer, the teammates they know how hard that kid's worked. They're up on their feet, giving him hugs.
Because generally, if you're going from walk-on to Scully,
oh yeah,
you're not in the back of the line.
No.
You're Rudy.
Yes, you are. You're stepping up every minute saying, watch me, I can do this. Talk about them doing it. Darius Quisenberry's coming back for YSU. They need him back badly. They've been struggling along. They had a nice win over Robert Morris. Overtime. It's a tough place to win. And with Quisenberry coming back, you expect a lot more wins for YSU.
I like his game. He's aggressive. Mm-hmm. I like it.
That's a good word, George. Some kids play passively.
Mm-mm.
You can be aggressive with that basketball, going to the basket hard, living at that free throw line.
He hadn't played since January 2nd, so a whole month.
Yeah, well, he's your best player.
No.
That's a lot.
Coach he won't make the excuse, but he has a reason.
Yeah, and so many people around the country that's happening to.
No, we just had a great guest on our radio show talking about the things that we don't realize. Like I say, they're playing this week, but how about if they had 8 guys in practice? What are they going to do? They put the GAs in gear or whatever?
Yeah, Eastern Illinois played Belmont, and I'm thinking Eastern Illinois has 4 starters out, and they're going to play a great team like Belmont. Sure enough, Belmont beat them by 40, and that's what happens. If you get inside information, you're thinking maybe it's going to happen or not going to happen.
Yeah, the antithesis. Marshall's playing Old Dominion. Old Dominion hasn't played in 3 weeks.
Right.
So I'm looking, I said,
good point, George.
I got one here.
Yeah.
Started out 14 points, 26-12. I said, then I got the final.
Yes. So, sometimes the more you know, the less you know.
Yeah, sometimes.
No question.
Yeah, sometimes.
And we're going to find out what they know in their Missouri Valley Conference.
I saw this the other day. I was reading the paper, and I saw where they picked the Penguins, and I said I would put that up right inside the door. Say, hey, guys, they got you 8th.
Yep, Coach Phillips is going to use that as bulletin board material.
Absolutely.
The YSU Penguins have been picked 8th in the Missouri Valley. No surprise. North Dakota State's picked number 1, along with followed by Northern Iowa and South Dakota State. Those 3 teams are loaded. Usually YSU's 4th. This year they picked 8th. Coach Phillips put that up there and let the Dan Beckers of the world and the Marco Craigs of the world.
Let's see what they think. We're 8th, huh?
And Jake Coates, all these guys who made all-conference picks, let them see that and say, hey, we're better than what they think. Watch what we do. Good luck with the Penguins. How about they're going to be playing here, George, in a couple weeks. And isn't that amazing?
How about who they opened the season with?
Yeah, they got number one right off the bat. That's not easy. That's
No, there are places I'd rather be. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes. But at least the quarterback's not going to be there.
Oh,
that was good news that he got out.
To the pros. He's like
yes.
the fourth quarterback.
Uh-huh.
We've talked a lot, being former basketball coaches, we've often said, the game today, do we like some of it? Absolutely. Do we not care for some of it? Absolutely. And we're going to look at some areas in basketball that you and I have questioned, going so far as to say, hey, what are you doing? Then yet there are other, like when I watched that NBA, darn it how, I never watched it that closely till the pandemic. The talent on that floor. Like when someone says they're going to that league, I would say you better check yourself.
Yeah, there's nothing normal about any NBA player. They do things that you can't teach, and that's why it's so hard for kids to emulate them, because they think they can do it, and there's no chance they can do what Kyrie Irving does with the ball. There's no chance that a 6'11" guy can make threes in his sleep like Kevin Durant. I mean, the NBA is a freak-driven league that is amazing, but high school's not.
No.
And George and I are high school guys.
Yeah, no shot clock. Let's start with that.
Uh-huh.
There's no shot clock. So there's absolutely no reason to take crappy shots.
And we see it game in and game out. I'm watching George is watching the NBA, and I'm watching high school on YouTube. And we have always had this concern. Now it's been a triple concern, because they have no idea about teaching the 3 R's. Now, the 3 R's have been around forever. And
shot selection.
Yes, when we're talking about shot selection, there's 3 things you teach your kids. Parents, tell your kids now. Coaches, tell your kids now. And the kids are playing the game. The 3 R's. First of all, you have to have room. You got to be shooting the ball with nobody around you. There's no shot clock. So if somebody has their hand right in your face,
pass the ball.
And get out of the way.
Absolutely.
So room is the first R. The second R is range. Please don't shoot a shot that you can't make. Please, what would make you shoot?
Little guys, if you're winding up, you're too far out.
A 28-footer. What? You know where you're at on the floor.
We used to give lessons, and first thing we'd have to do. All right, let's go before we start. Make 3 and move back. Make 3 and move back. Make 3. You'll be at the foul line pretty quickly. Yes. But you don't start back there.
They all start behind the 3-point line.
Absolutely.
Even the ball.
Yeah, with that shoulder out.
Yes.
There's no chance.
So range is so important. And I said I can make one out there. I didn't ask to make one. Right. Can you make half your shots out there?
This is what he did great. He charted every shot in practice.
So I would have the data saying,
let me see, Junior.
Hey, you don't make a third from there. Why would I let you shoot that shot?
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you prove to me. So we got room, we got range, we got rhythm. That's why the best 3-point shot in the game is off an offensive rebound.
Step in.
The offensive rebound catches the ball, it turns, and the shooter's out there ready, prepared to shoot.
Alone.
Stepping into the shot and following through. It's called balance. It's called in rhythm, no hesitation, and it's based on a good pass. George, all our drills were based on good passes.
Zip it. If it's got a knot in it, yes. It shouldn't be thrown.
George used to say to the guy, listen, I know how much you're concerned for your teammate about how you pass it.
I can do right away. You don't care.
If you throw a pass down the knees, then he doesn't care about that.
You don't want him to score.
Yeah. Give him that pass in his pocket. Give that pass right there. So write those 3 R's down, please. Room, range, and rhythm. Put them down and put them on your mirror. And you'll become a much better shooter just by doing those things. How do you do it? By practicing. If you practice every day hard, you'll get just get better 1% of the time. By the end of the season, every year you'll be 37 times better. It's analytics. So practice it up. Get that ball in your hands.
It's like doing one more push-up every day.
That's it.
At the end of the summer, you're doing 150.
Yes.
Because you're doing 90 more.
Yeah, and if you're doing 15 push-ups and you can't get that 16, keep getting 15 till you can, and then all of a sudden try that 16, and then go 16 till you can. That's the way it works.
And then you mentioned something too. We got to talk all these kids' names we read in the front.
Right.
All the kids, Quisenberry, whomever. There are stars. and there are people that support the Stars.
It's the truth.
And generally what happens, these high school kids, they were all stars.
Yes.
Now you go to YSU or you go another place, and all of a sudden, you look around, and there are several players better than you.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to make them better? What's going to happen? A lot of people lose it right there because they're not used to being part of a team.
Yeah, we're talking about teamwork. George just described the definition of teamwork. Sometimes you're the star, and sometimes you help the star. That's just the way that works. When you watch the football games being played, we know the quarterbacks get all the accolades, but the people doing all the work is the offensive line. Anybody who plays football knows you cannot win a football game without a good offensive line. In basketball, the rebounders are so vital to getting people in foul trouble on the other team and getting you second shots so the star gets another shot. Every day there's a fork in the road. Every day you can decide I'm going to be average today or I can be great today. You should choose to be great every time you play. I don't understand why you wouldn't. Why, if you're playing sports, and when George come on here and I come on the show, we don't come in and say, we're not going to be prepared. We're just going to be lousy today.
Yeah. No,
Every day we come prepared. We know what we're going to talk about.
No,
we know that's just part of
chasing greatness.
Yes.
We could gloss over that, but it's the same for a coach. We talk about a coach. U.B. Brown, one of the greats. He said, and I told you, John Thompson lady called his talk show one day and said, "Oh, Coach, I said I wanted to tell you my grandson just loves his coach." Big John, Big John, that deep voice. Yeah, that's too bad.
Yes.
She says, "What do you mean, Coach?" He said, "He's not pushing him hard enough."
Yeah, there was never a player that walked out when I was coaching that said, Coach, I
love him.
I like you.
I love Coach
I really
Kim.
like you. There wasn't one that said that. That's the truth. I really didn't care either. I just wanted them to be successful in life.
Yeah.
They're successful in life, I'd be happy.
Letting them slide by in the classroom is even worse.
It is. So U.B. Brown, who's considered one of the top basketball people of all time, said the greatest sin a coach can commit is to allow the kids to slide by. This goes for the classroom and on the court.
Yes.
And George, that's just the way it is. So high school coaches, when you're thinking about letting a kid slide by, you might be thinking, wait a minute, I'm not doing what's best for him.
No, you're not.
I'm not doing
You
what's best for
think you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. You're allowing him to. There was a great scene the other night in one of his TV shows I was watching. This guy was leaving, and he had basically just stepped back and done nothing in his position, waiting to get the new one, and the boss got word of it. And he called him in and he said, we got word, you're not doing your job, you're delegating, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. To understand you got a promotion, like in a next district over or whatever. And the guy said, yeah. He says, you better check that. He said, I called. And the guy said, you do that to me? He said, no, you did it to yourself.
How about that?
You did it to yourself.
Yeah, and so adding on to that, one of the greatest quotes that George and I use all the time is, your decisions reveal your priorities. Your decisions reveal. So if you say you want to be a great player and you don't practice, your decisions tell me you really don't want to be a player.
Now, like last week, Andy Reid's son got in that car and made the decision to drive impaired.
That's what it was.
It's that simple.
The
Because if
decision.
he cared enough about that Super Bowl Saturday, and he cared enough about what he had to do his part,
Right.
he would have been drinking club soda.
Yeah, and so you coaches out there watching our show, I know what your priority. Your priority is to win games if you play a kid who has all apps on his report card,
No, I won't go.
or becomes late to school every day,
No, it's a school team.
or if he treats his teammates like dogs.
No.
Then just
absolutely.
tell people in your first meeting,
Yeah, we don't.
I don't care what my
We
kids
just
do,
wanna
I
win.
just want to win. I
Just win,
understand that.
baby. Al Davis.
I understand that. I'd rather
Bobby Bowden.
don't
Why did he let
pretend.
Janikowski kick?
because I want to win.
That's what he said. You're not at that point. Okay, Bob.
Yeah, so we understood where he's coming from. So he really didn't care about the discipline part of it. I hate the phonies who talk about how they love their family and when they love their kids like their family. So that means that if your daughter came home every day at 3 a.m, drunk, so you're okay with that. Well, that's what you're saying, because your kid's on basketball team is not
They
going to
are your
class.
family.
They're not. You call them your family. So you treat your basketball team like your family. If you call it a family, treat them like your family.
Well, I really struggled with it. I'll be honest with you. I felt we were representing the school, and therefore you had to be in school.
It's the truth.
I was always, well, I had some problems with that. Like one day, I was at Grove City years ago. This lady comes in the gym. Of course, I didn't know her because I didn't work there. She said, I want to tell you one. I said, excuse me? He said, one of your boys. I said, Flunko. Period.
That's all.
Because he'll never learn if you don't.
Yes.
What? I have a friend. He picked him up in the morning. First, he arranged to do the makeup work. Then he said, well, I'll pick you up and bring you in. So he got the teacher. The kid, he goes for the kid. The kid didn't show up.
Think about that.
No, I can't. Honest to God,
You can't
I can't.
grasp it.
No, I can't.
Well, that leads us to the pros, and the greatest player, greatest quarterback of all time, is the hardest worker on the team.
Yeah.
You're talking about Tom Brady and when you talk about Tom Brady, you're talking about young kids that come in and say, I'm gonna get there. I'm making pressure on the coach. Yeah. I'm gonna get there at 7:30 tomorrow morning and go to work.
Brady's already there.
Brady's already been there for 2 hours. They talk about it. He's already been there 2 hours.
He had his family go away for 12 days to get ready for. Now a lot of people couldn't have the wherewithal,
right.
but like I remember when Baker Mayfield's first year.
He didn't get it.
No, he came out and Tyrod Taylor must have been there at 5:30. And he came out and coach said, "How you doing, Bake?" Oh, okay, he said. Tyrod was in there and he goes, "That's his thing." Coach says, "Okay, Bake." He said, "Let me ask you, what's your thing?" He didn't get it.
Yeah, but he has got it. He got it.
Okay.
He figured it out. And that you saw his play. You saw how his play improved. You saw how the people rallied around him.
Yeah.
Because he's always had an ego and he's always had the pizzazz. He didn't understand what it took.
So the ego. Let me give a real quick story for the people that don't know. He was a walk-on. And they were throwing a football in the rain one day. He and the starter. And the coach was starting, the ball was getting a little wet. He said, "Hey, go get him a towel." Starter, you know. Says to the coach, he said, "You go get him a towel." Now, that may be why he ended up at Oklahoma. But the bottom line was he's had that belief.
No, he always has. That strength's been there all the time.
Yeah.
But his strength.
Can it be a detriment?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
Yeah, it can turn it the wrong way.
Hey, let's get calm. We have 4 minutes left. I want to tell some jokes. You want the funniest joke of all?
Give it to me.
Guess where Bauer went? That's my joke.
Oh, my. Can you believe this?
No, I can't.
Cleveland fans of Pittsburgh fans. Most of the people watch this.
Yeah.
Or an Indian fan.
Yeah.
Or a Pirate fan. And they're watching their salaries at $20 million, $30 million per team.
No.
The Dodgers signed Trevor Bauer. I almost wrecked my car when I heard that he's going to be with Kershaw and Price, and with Bueller and Urias, and with May and Gonsolin. What is baseball going to when a team that's won 8 straight consecutive NL West titles?
Yeah.
Didn't they win the World Series last year, George?
I believe it, yeah.
They win and they get
thanks to that manager and his analytics.
Yes, and they get the Cy Young Award winner to join Mookie Betts. They now have to be up to $350 million. They have to be up there. So their team's salary is more probably than 5 or 6 teams combined.
Absolutely. Remember the year Aaron and Jeter made more in the Pirates?
2 players.
No. But once again, before we have a buddy that we just kill him about baseball, and he would already be on the phone saying, "How about Alabama?"
Yeah, I know that.
He would say, "You like college football?"
Well, I didn't say
there's no chance.
I like baseball. I'm a big baseball fan.
But that's not.
But I'm just saying that.
No.
If you're going to tell them Dodgers they can sign Bauer, then you got to call the Pittsburgh and Cleveland owners and say, "Listen, they're spending $350. You got to spend $150." Mm-hmm. And the businessman on part of that says, "I'm not doing it." That's what he's going to say.
Yeah.
I don't care. Making money, I don't care. Mm-hmm. As a fan, though, it's not fair that you're watching 2 minor league teams play Major League Baseball, Georgia. To me, and we're talking about Alabama, Georgia. The rich get richer.
See, in the pros, when you win, you pick last.
Right.
In college, when you win, you pick first.
And they pick first every year.
Every year.
And this year,
what they do? They didn't do very well.
They decided this year to pick not only the first around the country. 7 5. There's 32 5-stars. They got 7 of them.
16 4-stars.
And 16 4-stars are probably close to 5 stars. This is their number 1 class ever. And people who do this for a living did not say 2020 was, did not say 2009. So they don't say it every year. They said the last great class was 2017 they got. This time they got another one. So that's Alabama. But you guys locally, you guys should be happy. They should really, Ohio State's number 2.
Yeah, the Buckeyes killed it.
5 5-stars and 13 4-stars. So Ryan Day understands the value of recruiting. So it looks like for years to come, Alabama, Ohio State aren't going anywhere, George. Looks like you're going to see them on TV a lot.
And then we'll finish this talking a little bit of recruiting. We'll get out of here. Michigan. There's some Michigan fans, not many, that mostly love-hate, but they're showing up again and again, but it's not coming out on Saturday.
Yeah, so when you watch recruiting,
You're still going to coach them up, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
They're number 10 this year, and so if they're number 10, I don't expect them to beat Ohio State. So I'm not one of those one thing. Oh, they should beat Ohio State, but they should beat everybody else. And somewhere they're losing to Purdue and they're losing to Indiana, and they almost lost to Rutgers. So they're not coached. So there's 3 things I said. Number 1, you recruit them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Alabama does unbelievably. Ohio State. Number 2, you have to have the money for your staff to hire the best coaches in the country.
They have advisors making money that would embarrass a regular.
But yeah, so they spend money on their staff that they get the best coaches
Right,
they can.
right.
So now you got the third part is really important. You develop that talent, and they do. And
That's another advantage they have because of gravity. Any guy that ever gets fired ends up in Tuscaloosa.
well, the best coaches in the country are there.
Yeah,
But that's how they restart over.
Yeah.
They know they're going to get a head job.
Yeah.
3 years down the road.
Sark.
Yep.
Sark was getting into the champagne when he
Yeah,
was out in
He
Southern
was in
Cal.
major trouble.
Yeah, he came
Brent
here.
Bigelow, I heard you say his guy from Wisconsin went down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he went to New England. That's what you do. So,
Yeah, you're right.
when you look at when recruiting, make sure that you look and see how many linemen are being recruited.
Yeah. Good.
Don't just look at the backs and receivers.
Yeah,
That's where Alabama cleans house.
exactly.
Alabama, you'll read 4 of their 5 stars were offensive linemen
Yep.
and defensive linemen.
You're exactly
You know,
right.
that's how you win in college football.
Hey, you heard it here. Thanks again for watching Bottom Line Sports Talk. See you next week.